From JBS Studios in Greater New York, this is the JBS News Update with Teisha Bader.
I'm Teisha Bader with the JBS News Update for Monday, November the 7th, 2022. Israel yesterday marked 27 years since the assassination of Israeli Prime Minister Yitzhak Rabin, with state ceremonies at Mount Herzl and at the Knesset. Rabin was murdered on November the 4th of 1995 by a right-wing extremist who opposed his political views and actions. Israeli Prime Minister Yair Lapid noted at the memorials yesterday, as fate would have it, this commemoration for Yitzhak Rabin takes place only a few days after the State of Israel held elections and emerged from them once again divided, angry, and threatening to split into us and them. There is no us and them, Lapid said, only us. Rabin's murder was an attempt at assassinating the very notion of us living together. What we must learn from Yitzhak Rabin's life and death is that loving our homeland is first and foremost loving those who live together with you in that homeland, urging unity and mutual respect. Opposition leader Benjamin Netanyahu, set to become Israel's next prime minister, said at the Knesset ceremony, after the election campaign is over, after the dust has settled, the bickering between the camps, you have to get out of the trenches and know how to work together. The differences of opinion, Netanyahu said, will not disappear, and that's okay. Arguing is allowed. You don't have to agree on everything. But on the other hand, you need to know what to agree on, what most of us agree on. And world leaders congratulated Netanyahu on his election victory in Israel. Netanyahu shared he received calls from the Prime Minister of France, Poland, and the UK, among others. And Netanyahu began informal talks yesterday with lawmakers regarding the building of a future coalition, sitting down today with Itamar Ben-Gvir at Likud party headquarters in Tel Aviv. Ben-Gvir, who has been condemned for his right-wing extremist views, wrote an op-ed in the Yisrael Hayom Daily yesterday titled, "My Brethren on the Left Give Me a Chance," writing that despite the disagreements and despite the demonization and the hatred, despite all that, we are brothers, claiming he is not as extreme as many fear. Israel's President Isaac Herzog flew to Egypt today to attend the COP27, the 2022 United Nations Climate Change Conference taking place in Sharm el-Sheikh. Herzog was accompanied by a large Israeli delegation, including Environmental Protection Minister Tamar Zandberg, Education Minister Yifat Shasha Biton, Innovation, Science and Technology Minister Orit Farkasha-Cohen, and Regional Cooperation Minister Isawi Frej. Herzog was welcomed upon arrival by Egyptian President Abdel Fattah el-Sisi and met with a number of heads of state at the gathering, including with the new UK Prime Minister Rishi Sunak, King Abdullah II of Jordan, and United Arab Emirates President Sheikh Mohammed bin Zayed. And Herzog inaugurated the first ever Israeli pavilion at the summit, saying today Israel is an important country in dealing with the climate crisis and its consequences, and dozens of Israelis involved in the field are here and working for humanity. And Herzog presented his speech at the COP, the Israeli vision his office had written of the renewable Middle East, in which Israel and regional states will cooperate to provide major solutions for the climate crisis. Herzog saying we must do everything to do our part to save humankind. New chairman of the Jewish Agency, Major General in Reserve Doron Almog, presented the organization's Board of Governors with his strategy to build stronger connections between Israelis and world Jewry, speaking yesterday in Tel Aviv to hundreds of Jewish leaders from around the world. Almog said the flagship program that we will promote together focuses on strengthening connections between us to deepen Israel's relationship with every Jew, every Jewish family, and every Jewish community around the world. We must not lose any of them. I would like to dedicate Israel's 75th anniversary, Almog said, to deepening our relationship with all Jewish communities. Well, Israeli runner Lona Chemtai-Salpeter finished second place in the New York City Marathon women's race yesterday with a time of 2 hours, 23 minutes, and 30 seconds, trailing the winner, Sharon Lokdi, by just 7 seconds. Chemtai-Salpeter was born in Kenya and moved to Israel in 2008 and became an Israeli citizen in 2016. And represented Israel in the 2016 Olympics in Rio de Janeiro. Her time in the marathon yesterday was the highest finish ever by an Israeli in this race. Taking a look now at our programming for tonight on JBS for Monday, November the 7th. At 7 o'clock, Congressman Jamie Raskin talks about his book Unthinkable with Rabbi Avraham Bronstein at the Hampton Synagogue. At 7:30, on location in Israel, Shahar Azani sits down with Talia Dekel Fleissig, Sarah Haetzni-Cohen, Shmuel Rosner, Michal Cotler-Wunsh, Emmanuel Navo, Gail Talshir, and Rabbi Yehoshua Pfeffer to talk about the Israeli election results. At 9, Mark Golub sits down with Israeli actress Ayelet Zurer. At 10, learn more about Israel's dramatic capture of Adolf Eichmann. And coming up next, Shahar Azani in Israel sits down with Israeli author and political pundit Ben-Dror Yemini to talk about what's in the cards for Israel's next government. And that's the JBS News Update for Monday, November the 7th, 2022. I'm Teisha Bader. Stay healthy, stay well.